Welcome everybody to our latest Live Motocross podcast. For this episode, I'm joined by Aussie ace Kaleb Barham to look ahead to the upcoming Australian Supercross season, WSX, and even talk a bit of MXON after Australia's epic win this morning. Obviously, before we welcome Kaleb, firstly, thank you everyone listening and supporting the website. We really appreciate it. We'd also like to thank our partners in 24MX, Dirt Store, Fuchs Silkaline, and Dragon Energy for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, thanks for joining us, mate. Kaleb, how are you? Busy times ahead. It's a busy week. It's all happening for you, mate.
Yeah, look, it's exciting, man. It's race week finally. So the preseason's pretty much all but done now. All the hard work's been done and put in. So it looks like we're just getting ready here. A little bit of a race bike shakedown this week, and then game day. So yeah, it's all happening in the world of us riders this week.
Oh yeah, mate, it's a lot going on for you, mate. But I got to start with the Motocross of Nations. I don't know if you were up watching it, but what a day for the Aussies, mate. They finally got the win. The Lawrence brothers and Kyle Webster did what they had to do, mate, in the UK to win their first one. Burner running the ship, their team manager. So how good was it, mate? So good for Australia, the sport, everything, mate. And it gives a nice little bit of boost and a vibe and a buzz heading into Aussie Supercross too, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, man, it's been such a long time. Australia's fell short so many times. I shouldn't say fell short. It's such a great achievement with what they've done in previous years, but to finally step on that top step, it was phenomenal to watch and to be able to know them and have raced pretty much every single one of them except for Jetty. It's very, very, very cool and a massive hype for the Australian motorsport industry. So, it was an awesome work by the boys. The track looked very trying and some difficult conditions, and it definitely didn't go easy for the boys. They all had their little hiccups they had and hurdles they had to get over, but also for Webby to be able to do it. I feel like there was a lot of criticism going in that Webby may not have been the choice, but man, I think he did a phenomenal job, and well, that they made it happen. So it doesn't matter who they picked; they got the job done for the first time ever. So yeah, look, it was awesome to be able to watch it live and see the boys get it done.
Yeah, it was impressive, mate. And I guess from a rider's perspective, like yourself, obviously Kyle's been over there for a month or so in Florida training. He won the Pro MX title, had the hand injury. All that hard work paid off definitely, and that HRC bike obviously helped with the Lawrence brothers connect. But, for the nerves, the pressure, the weight of expectation, there's a lot to deal with on that big stage, isn't it, mate? So I guess from your perspective, how difficult would that be being that far out of your comfort zone?
Oh, it was actually pretty cool. When myself and my partner were over in America on our holiday, we ended up at the last round of the AMA, which Webby was attending at with myself and Meneers and all that were there. And we ended up, long story short, under the Honda truck with all the boys having a yak to them. So, to be able to kind of get a little bit of an insight on what Webby was going to get into and how he was going to try and sort that hand out from the last round of our Australian Championship and try and get it sorted before Nations. Just the program they kind of had in place for him. As I said, I had a bit more information that I knew he was in good hands and he was going to be able to make it happen, I felt. So, and then coming to the expectation, you've not just got the expectation on yourself, I feel, which all us riders deal with, but at MX of Nations, you've got your whole country on the way to your shoulders. So, look, I can't say I've ever had that much. I guess you would say that I've been in that deep before. I got to have a little bit of a taste of it last year at the World Series at the round in Melbourne, and look, it was gnarly. I thought I was going to nearly throw up on the start line, and it's nerves do funny things. It's just how you deal with them, and the boys absolutely nailed it. So hats off to them all.
Oh, mate, absolutely well said. Yeah, congrats to the lads again. And obviously, congrats to you as well, mate. You're about to be thrown in the deep end a bit with that WSX deal. That's a really cool deal you've got there, mate. So tell us about how excited you are. Obviously, you're going to be teammates with Tomac. You did an exceptional job today for Team USA as well. You got Moss and Kingsford as well on that CDR Yamaha. How cool is that, mate? It's such an awesome opportunity for you guys to test yourself, and I guess you're extremely pumped on it.
Most definitely. I was behind the scenes. I was pestering Wardy and Bish a fair bit on as soon as I knew Worlds were coming back to Australia. I pretty much as soon as I got wind of it, that they knew I was keen. I didn't care what I had to do. I told them to get me a wild card, and I pestered them pretty much once a week and just tried to make it happen. And then I was fortunate enough to get the call into the CDR truck at one of the national rounds, and got to sit down with Craig and nut it out. And long story short, we're on a CDR bike for Supercross and got one of the best teammates in the world and somebody that I can hopefully gain a lot of experience and just knowledge of. If I can learn one or two things from him, it's phenomenal. He's obviously been there, done that for nearly everything that I wish I could go and race. Look, I'm just excited for the experience. And obviously, coming into this year, I'm feeling better on the bike than what I was in previous years, and everything's flowing very, very well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to then taking it, not only being a wild card at one round, now being locked in for the whole series and seeing what we can do. It's I got all the equipment now, so it's time to make it happen.
Yeah, mate, I'm sure you got a nice rocket ship you'll be riding there, mate. And it must be pretty awesome doing all the photo shoot, doing all the press stuff, and it sort of just builds the excitement, doesn't it, mate? Travel to some new places, get your name out there on an even grander scale, you know. So it's a really cool chance. You know, what's the differences, I guess, the key things for you since signing that WSX deal, and how's the prep been going with the 00 Elite crew as well, mate? The guys certainly go through your paces, so you'll be primed for obviously a good AUSX and obviously WSX, mate.
Yeah, look, if I'm honest, the goal at the minute is the Australian Supercross Series, since it's coming up first. So that's been our full focus point. And look, we've left no stone unturned. I've been able to be training with Aaron Taney flat out and trying to latch onto him as much as possible and annoy the crap out of him. So it's been really, really good being able to ride with the whole 00 crew, and I'm feeling very, very good on the bike. We've done the work. The Yamaha racing team have got me a really good base setting, which we tweaked a little bit from last year, and just got me a bit more comfortable on this new chassis. And look, I'm excited. I really, really am. I'm quietly very, very confident, which is nice. So I'm feeling good on the bike. I'm feeling good off the bike. Got the World SX deal, and obviously that in itself is another kettle of fish. So the depth in Australian Supercross is going to be deep. Obviously, going from last year's results now to this year, it's kind of a new playing field. So with McElrath coming now, it's going to be some very very, very big hitters there. But look, I raced him last year in the World Series and was fortunate enough the last time we raced, I ended up beating him, actually. I finished just in front of him at the last race. So hopefully I can keep that streak going. That'd be nice. But look, we're just going to take it start by start and corner by corner. It's Supercross. Anything can happen. So look, it's exciting. The biggest thing probably changing from last year to this year is going to be the travel. The travel is going to be pretty extensive, especially towards the latter stage of the series. I'm pretty sure we go Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne, then Abu Dhabi. So, they're going to be some big flights, and there's not going to be too much time kind of to rest in between them. But fortunately enough, probably the main rival and being Shane, and that will end up doing worlds with me as well. So we'll both be tired and trying to sleep on the planes probably together. So, look, it's exciting, obviously, and then being able to ride for CDR is such a prestigious team. That in itself brings confidence to be able to have my name on a CDR bike. I honestly never thought it was going to happen. I didn't think I was really going to. Well, I shouldn't say I wasn't going to race a 450, but I didn't know when I ever was. So to be able to get a 250 bike under that team is pretty cool. So yeah, look, it's all going good. And then Dean from Fighting Fit Physio, he's got me fit and healthy, which is Supercross is a very, very key part to it. So yeah, it's good. And Nathan from 00, he's just been on my case day in and day out. So it's been good. It's been good. He's been not shy in telling me what he feels. And look, it's been good. As I said, from last year, we're definitely in a way better position. And last year we were very solid and a top contender. So this year, we know what the goal is and we know what the job at hand is. So look, we've got all the pieces together and everything's shaping up to be a very, very, very exciting end of the year.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, mate. And it's just before we get on to the specific AUSX preview, just wanted to obviously have a chat about obviously the Yamaha crew and how cool is it that you get these opportunities. Obviously, Craig Dack, CDR, Yamalube, and obviously the key figures behind the scenes are obviously wanting to give you guys opportunities. You saw the MXGP in China. You know, your teammate Cosford made a really good account of himself there alongside the likes of Gibbs and Waters and Brody Connolly, the Kiwi as well. So those opportunities for Australian riders, they don't come around all the time. So for you guys, obviously in the lead up to MXGP in Australia next year, but it's really cool for the Aussies to have a chance and get themselves on the world stage, isn't it, mate? And Yamaha crew and obviously Uribe with the Honda definitely leading the charge on that, aren't they? Even Caden and KTM in America. So it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems like the Australian industry at the minute is spreading out further and further, which is really cool. As you said, I was fortunate enough to be over with Caden when he did the Ironman race over there, and it was phenomenal to see in person. They absolutely loved him over there, so that was cool to witness. And then obviously didn't go to China, but from what I heard there, it was an experience and a half for all those boys as well. So. And yeah, I can't thank Yamaha enough. To give me this opportunity. Obviously, I feel as if I've earned it anyway. But for them to give it to an Australian rider and not just pay an American or another import, yeah, it was very cool to walk in the truck and realize what was kind of going on. So, look, it's one of them things. They've given me now a base now, and it's up to me to see how far I can take it. So, yeah, we're gonna bite off more than we can chew and chew like hell and see what we can pull out. So, yeah, as I said, Yamaha's opened the door for me now. I've got to prove that I'm worthy of it. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for everyone that's put my name in the hat and to see what we can do for all of them.
Nah, mate, well deserved. Obviously, you hold your own in any moto form, especially Supercross, and you'll definitely give a good account of yourself on the grand stage, mate. But on to the AUSX preview. Obviously, this weekend, the opener in Queensland, I guess you call it a home race. It's sold out the opening night. Fans will be out in force, obviously, supporting the Aussies. It's shaping up as a really good series, isn't it, mate? You definitely have yourself as a title contender, mate. Very accomplished Supercross rider. And I guess you got some other heavy hitters to look out for, like Reed Taylor, Bud, Ferguson. Minia, obviously, he'll be back out there trying to prove himself after the American round. Williams, and obviously McElrath and Cole Thompson, like you said, mate. So it's kind of a bit more open without Max Anstey there this time, but you always love racing those US guys or whoever comes over, don't you, mate, to test yourself and elevate. So I guess who are some of the main rivals? And I know you'll be focusing on yourself, but the strength in depth is pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's one of them things. So anything can happen in Supercross. We've seen it over the years. One thing, you've got to stay fit and healthy, and two, you've got to stay out of the carnage. So it doesn't matter what rider you are. If you're not out at the pointy end off the start, you open yourself up to big risk. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I can't control who they bring in or who ends up coming. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be racing Shane in the World Series anyway. So for me, it's racing him week in, week out now. It's good. We can kind of hopefully learn from one another. And if he can make me a better rider, then I'm all for it. So, but yeah, as I said, going off of last year's results, obviously with NATO gone and now that Anstey's gone and Wilson's out, it's opened it right up that, yeah, really it's Cole, myself, and yeah, I think McElrath, that they'll be the main boys there. Obviously, hopefully the Aussie boys can lift it up and jump in the front of it. So we need all the Aussies in there as we can. So it's gonna be an interesting thing. I think there's a lot of question marks on a lot of people, and yeah, look, I'm just going under the radar as much as I kind of can. Everybody knows that I'm a really, really good Supercross rider. So I'm just trying to keep my head down, butt up, and yeah, get the work done. And as I said, I'm feeling very, very confident coming into round one. It's going to be the home race for me, and it's a double header. So yeah, I've got plenty of friends and family that are going to be there. And as we know from Toowoomba and all that, I thrive off that. Off that energy, I guess you would say. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And as I said, looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain here, so it's actually going to cool it down a little bit. I was hoping it was going to be nice and stinking hot for all the boys, but I think it's going to actually end up cooling it down, which but for the track crew actually makes it a whole lot nicer for us riders. But as long as it's not raining, yeah, I think it'll be a great show for both the crowd and the races. So yeah, it's exciting. We're back up in Queensland for the first time in a long time for Supercross, and the series is growing. So yeah, it's exciting, not just for riders, for spectators, but also for the industry. It's going to be a very good series.
Yeah, mate, the hype's building nicely. It's a very anticipated series this year for sure. Obviously, 5 rounds. And yeah, with that heat, mate, because you know, Nathan, he loves to make you guys suffer, doesn't he, mate? Especially in that Queensland heat.
Man, we've been suffering in the heat. Yeah, we had a ride over the weekend, and I still feel like I'm recovering from it. It was me and Tanny, we're in the trenches together there that day. So, no, it's good. It's good. It's good to obviously have Tanny back as well. Yeah, he's like my right hand man. It's good. We're kind of swinging shovels in the trenches together at the minute, so it's good. We both know we're in the hurt locker, and we're both pushing one another. So it's nice to. It's kind of been the first year where I've actually been able to kind of help push a little bit with Tanny. So I've kind of taken it a little bit of another level, which is nice. So yeah, it's good. It's yeah, we've left no stone unturned, and we know we've ticked all the boxes. So now it's just time to execute.
Yeah, mate, what's your preparation sort of looking like leading in? Is there many more days riding left for you? Just a little bit of light sort of tapering as you head in, mate. So is that what you're looking for? Obviously, the rain, you'll probably be doing stuff with the Fighting Fit crew. So you're just sort of easing into it now, mate. You've still got a couple of hard days ahead.
Yeah, look, if I'm honest, all the work's done by now. If it's not done already, you're too late. So now all our work's done. All we got to do is this week we ride in the race bikes, make sure everything's feeling nice and comfy and fresh, and then yeah, just get ready for race day. It's exciting. So I don't know. I'm assuming there might be a press day if it doesn't rain, but yeah, look, our plan is we're just riding the race bikes now, getting sorted, do a bucket load of starts, make sure we're feeling good off that line like we were last year, and make sure we're at the pointy end every time we're out on that track, and It's kind of, as I said, it's all working out really well. Everything's falling into place really, really, really well this year.
Yeah, it's a good way to be, having that confidence, knowing that you've done the work heading in, mate. You're not chasing your tail or anything, feeling a bit underdone, mate. So it's looking like a really good series, the 2024 one. Obviously, 5 rounds. They keep raising the bar, the promoters, the organisers. It's incredible progress, really. So I guess each round is a bit of a sort of statement event, isn't it, mate? So the double header in Redcliffe. Obviously, Queensland, huge market area for the sport, so it just needs to be there, doesn't it? And then the V8 collab in Adelaide's really cool. The Wollongong with the UFC fighter. Volk sort of doing that with the Triple Crown, and then the Melbourne finale to finish off at the AUSX Open with the Lawrence brothers, Cooper Webb. So I guess from a rider's point of view, how awesome is this series? And there's going to be so many eyeballs on it, especially coming with, that's the main piece of the racing calendar, really, WSX, AUSX. So you'll be at all the rounds, mate. So it's really exciting crescendo end to the year for you, mate, on all aspects, but especially obviously to focus on the Aussie one. How good they run on the show. They're doing a good job, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's one of them things. I've kind of made a name for myself more in Supercross. I'm more kind of a fierce competitor, I guess you would say, in Supercross.
Although you're charging those downhills at Toowoomba, mate, with Connolly.
Yeah, look, it was good. It's good. And obviously, yeah, I'm no slouch on motocross either, but when it comes to Supercross, I feel like I've definitely got that more. I've got that more infamous kind of aspect towards it. But yeah, for me now, Supercross is growing. It's really cool. Obviously, if it's something that I prefer Supercross as a rider. And if that series is growing and getting bigger and bigger, so is my confidence. The guys there have done a phenomenal job. Sinks and all that, they're really taking it to another level, which is phenomenal to see. As you said, each round has its own little variation and twist. So, the WSX crew have done a phenomenal job at promoting it. Obviously, they've got some massive names, and that's before we even get to Melbourne, where the finale is going to be unbelievable. It will be the biggest race Australia has probably seen. So, it's going to be an awesome series, and I'm really looking forward to the finale. And to finish off this year strong, we're gonna put ourselves in good positions and make sure we're at the pointy end of this thing. So we know we're fully capable of doing it. I said it's nice to feel like all the boxes have been ticked and everything's just gonna flow nicely into the season. So if we stay fit and healthy like we can, I think it's going to be a very, very solid end of the year for Kaleb Barham.
Yeah, mate, it's been a solid block of work. And before we touch on the 450 class, obviously that training period you've done leading in has been so integral to you feeling really confident heading in. Obviously, want to touch on that Ironman trip just quickly, mate. That was obviously something you wanted to do. You and the partner, really cool experience. Just some key takeaways from that, mate. Must have been really awesome. And I guess for your mentality as well, good to have a refresh and a recalibrate, see some new things, have a little breather, and then hit the ground running when you came back to Australia, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we ended up going over for about 2 weeks and ended up exploring around San Fran. Then went up to watch the last round of the motocross at Ironman, and then darted across to Nashville, and then went back to LA. And it was phenomenal. It was a great little getaway, and it was well overdue. So we had an absolute ball over there, and to be able to go to the motocross, well, I've never seen an AMA motocross. So to go over and watch that, it was very cool to see how the track was prepared and how different they run it over there. It was very cool and very appetizing as a rider to go do. So I literally, as we were leaving, I told my partner that I'm definitely doing that race next year if I can make it work. So it's like Echo Valley on steroids. So I'm all for it. The hills are big, the jumps are big, and the track looked phenomenal. So it's one of the things. It's easy to say when you're on the sideline, but look, I want to be behind the gates at that one. So, look, it was a great trip. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Me and my partner had a phenomenal time over there, and we'll go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, Ironman hosting the nations there, mate. It'd be cool to go back there as a spectator and race the national. I know you want to race the AMA Supercross at some point in your career, so there's still a bit of unfinished business in America, I guess, mate. So you'll be back in the future, no doubt.
Yes, exactly.
Nah, it's going to be cool, mate. So I guess, and obviously looking at the 450 class, obviously really cool to see what Tanti will be doing on that Honda, mate. Obviously, you know better than anyone. He's an absolute weapon, and he's obviously coming in with some pretty decent momentum from that Canadian series, which, doesn't get as much coverage as some of the other stuff, but he did some really good things over there. And I guess he's going to have his work cut out against the likes of Dean Wilson, Savachi, Clout. Obviously, Crawford's, got that injury problem, but Moss and Beaton on CDR, really interesting to see how they go. I guess Mossy will be fancying his chances for sure. And then you got Wills on the gas, and I believe Mather's racing the Husky. So some pretty elite talent going around in that class too, mate. So that'll be another exciting, I guess, for you to watch and enjoy, but also for the fans too. It just brings the series up to another level too.
Yeah, exactly. Both classes are now action-packed. So yeah, it'll be solid. Obviously, I'll be rooting for Tanny. I hope he goes out and smashes it. He's obviously my right hand man, but look, he's not going to be able to do it easy. It's going to be a whole lot of work. But yeah, he's looking a lot more like. It's been looking a lot more like typical Aaron Tanny in the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's exciting to see. And yeah, I think if he executes like he's been doing at the practice track, he'll be able to turn some faces as he's done. So it'll be like him and Brayton back in Marble Stadium that year. So yeah, it's going to be exciting. Both classes are going to be absolutely action packed. The MX3 class, there's always carnage and stuff going on everywhere. And the 85s, it's just unreal to have that class back at the Supercross. So yeah, it's going to be a full action packed event. And for the fans and spectators, there's going to be no better races to be at than the Supercrosses this year. Each and every one's going to be different. Each and everyone's going to have its own special twist. And yeah, it's shaping up to be phenomenal.
Have you had a look at some of the formats for those races? Obviously, like the Triple Crown, and there's a few different tweaks here. Do you like that sort of thing, or do you like to stick to the sort of tried and trusted formula?
Look, I like the 15 lapper, but at the end of the day, I podiumed on a Triple Crown. So look, it's one thing I'm good at. I'm good at my starts, and I'm good at put myself in a good position off the first couple corners. So look, I think it's going to play into my favor. I'm obviously, yeah, as I said, if my main competitor is Shane, which most people would say it certainly is, he has a lot more experience than me, and he's a fair bit older than me, but I'm a lot littler and a lot lighter, and I've got a good engine under me. So, yeah, look, hopefully if I can get them starts, and yeah, if he's got to try and chase me down, it's a whole lot easier than me trying to chase him down. So, look, it's exciting, I think, for the crowd. As a rider, there's obviously a lot more risk to the Triple Crowns and double headers, but look, I'll as soon as they drop the gate, I'll race, and when they give me the checkers, I'll stop. So, look, I'm excited for whatever the format is. We're ready for whatever they throw at us. So yeah, I'm excited. As I said, for the crowd, it's gonna be hectic.
Yeah, I guess the pressure's on those American guys, Shane especially, to perform. So a lot of the other Aussie guys like yourself would be happy just sort of cruising in under the radar a little bit. They can take the spotlight, mate, and then you obviously be planning to take the win. So it's going to be a pretty cool dynamic. It's almost like a little bit of us against them, not, fully, but, it's a little bit of a nice subplot to follow, isn't it?
Most definitely, it's the Australian versus the American scene. It seems to come up every year. I remember back in the day, it was when Jacob Hayes and Tanti, and there always seems to be the American and Australian rivalry that comes up. So there's usually one of each. So look, hopefully I'm the Aussie. So that's the plan. We're making it work. So yeah, the bike's good. I'm good, and as I said, the competition is going to be fierce, but yeah, look, we've prepared ourselves as best as what we possibly can. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we stack up.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. And just quickly, obviously, Nashi, your former mechanic's gone over to the GPs, mate. Obviously, he was at the Nations, pretty cool. So have you adjusted to, I guess, life with the new mechanic? And I guess looking back at the last Pro MX rounds, what were your thoughts on them, mate, as well? I guess you're just happy to get through them healthy and fully focused on Supercross now. So just your thoughts on those two, mate.
Yeah, look, it's unreal to see Nashi over there. From everything we've been chatting about, he's absolutely loving it over there. So he's spending a fair bit of time over in France, and for anyone that knows Nashi, it suits him to the ground. He's traveling, he's exploring, he's taking in the culture. It's everything that Nashi is about. So, yeah, I absolutely love seeing him over there and enjoying it. And obviously, his new jockey is a phenomenal operator. He's a very good dirt bike rider. So yeah, look, I think he's loving it over there. And obviously, when he comes back, I'd love to work with him again whenever he gets back. So. But and then yeah, moving into the new mechanics, I got Brandon and AJ, which come back from an off-road scene, and they are honestly like a breath of fresh air. They're very, very cool. Me and AJ, I feel work really, really well together, and they haven't really done too much Supercross, so I'm actually excited to kind of, especially Brandon. I know he hasn't done anything, so I'm excited to take him into the stadium and turn off the lights and see what his reaction's like. So. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see how that dynamic works. And look, as I said, we're excited for it, and yeah, we're ready to go to war. So yeah, we're excited to see where we can stack up against everyone. And yeah, as I said, there's not too much else we can say. It's all just been going along smoothly. It's kind of been nice. We've just been flowing under the radar, and there's not too much report on the front. It's just, yeah, work, and it's all been ticking along nicely.
Yeah, mate, obviously it's key to build that relationship with the mechanic and get used to what you're looking for and your expectations. And, I'm sure you're getting there with those lads, so it's pretty cool to see how that builds. And obviously with the 00 Elite crew, how strong has the crew been? Have you got a few of the younger riders training with you? You've been helping them too, mate. What's the sort of whole crew look like? How many guys each day? I guess you're testing yourself against, or is it sort of you and Tanti mainly on that elite level that are sort of going toe to toe?
Oh, it's been interesting. Obviously, NATO's nowhere to be seen at the minute with the wrist, unfortunately. But it's just been me and Tanny, if I'm honest. Like the other boys have been able to latch on. It's kind of me and Tanny have the most experience, I guess you would say, in Supercross. So it's good. The other boys have been able to kind of latch on and learn from myself and Tanny as I'm trying to learn off of Tanny. So it's good, but there's plenty of boys. Miles Gilmore's been actually annoying a bit. It's been nice. He's been able to put down a really good heater, and he's happy to send whatever is in front of him. So it mightn't be the prettiest, but he'll make it happen. So yeah, it's been good. Honestly, it's a very interesting crew we've got. It's as I said before, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. You rock up one day and you might be having the best day, but somebody else might be. So they're a bit closer to you that day. So there's always someone to push you. So it doesn't matter whether you're one of the slower riders in the group or whether you're like myself and Tanny at the top. You've always got that push and that motivation to be better. So, and there'll be certain things that us top guys aren't doing that one of the slower guys are absolutely nailing. So we can all learn from one another, and that's what I would say is probably the beauty in riding in a group. It's you can learn from anyone if you've got an open mind. So yeah, it's been good. And watching them develop, obviously over the last 6 weeks, it's from where they started, there was a lot of scary moments and a lot of cases and a lot of sore ankles to where now we've been able to, fortunately, we've got the machinery and everything. We've been changing the tracks pretty much every week. We rocked up this week to a brand new layout and just trying to keep ourselves on our toe and to see how quickly we can all adapt to a track now. It's hats off to the whole 00 crew and to Nathan and his whole effort that he puts in behind as he makes sure that going into round one, we are as ready as what we can be. So, yeah, look, there's no, as I said for myself, there's no questioning if I could have done this or should have done that. I know that rolling into round one, the nerves are very, very, very calm at the minute. It doesn't even feel like race week, which is always a good thing. It's always nice just to kind of float in race week and yeah, kind of still get your nice night sleep and yeah, just cruise along and float into show day and yeah, just make it happen when the mains come around.
Oh, it's awesome, mate. It's going to be a great series, that's for sure. And I guess have you got any final thoughts before we sort of wrap this one up? Obviously, fans, they can expect some seriously good racing, can't they? Obviously, the stands are going to be full, but anyone you want to thank, shout out to, stage is yours, mate.
Yeah, obviously everybody that's behind me, Nathan from 00, Dean from Fighting Fit Physio, that their whole crew, that without them guys, my on and off bike training doesn't happen. So that they monitor me from when I get up to when I go to bed. So yeah, a massive shout out to that whole crew, and then to the whole Yamaha Australia crew. They've gave me some great opportunities here to prove and test myself in these next couple months, and I'm excited to chew like hell and see what we can do. So I'm ready to go.
Awesome, mate. It's definitely exciting times ahead, and definitely thanks again for joining us on this one. A little bit of an AUSX preview, WSX chat, and obviously MXON on the day of the race where the Aussies got the job done. So obviously before we let you go, I'd like to thank the partners in 24MX, Dirt Store, Fuchs Silverline, and Dragon Energy for all their incredible support, as without them, none of this would be possible. All right, thanks again, Kaleb. All the best for the weekend, mate, and the WSX and everything. I'm sure we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you, mate.
No worries, mate. Have a good one.